Alright, welcome to this video. Now before we kick off this video, please make sure you understand the concept of blockchains well, you understand the concept of Web3 wallets well, and you understand the blockchain ecosystem pretty well, because if you can understand those things, then you're going to appreciate this video, or else it's going to go over your head. Not completely over your head, but I think you would appreciate it a lot more if you understand those concepts. So if you do not understand those concepts, then please go back to the other videos that I've made and see if you can consume that content and then come back to this one, because this will really help you understand what I'm going to explain today. Okay, so today we're going to go over blockchain utility, because I think it's important that we look at blockchain as a tech before we get into crypto and all of these money making machines out there, and all of that is fancy and whatnot. But I think it's important to look at the tech behind what's running all of this, and the opportunity that the tech, you know, the opportunity that the tech offers for developers and for consumers. And it'll understanding this will make you help you make the right choices, hopefully, if you trust the technology enough and if you understand it enough. So let's get right into it. Now before we get into the applications, let's look at the nature of blockchain. We know that blockchain is secure, right? You know how nodes are all across the globe. It's not a single point of failure, unless unlike Google, Amazon, where they have centralized servers, and if a hacker can get into those servers, then all data is gone. The hacker potentially can run away with all of that data, and you can erase all the data from the Amazon servers. So that is, in that way, public blockchains are very secure, because they have node operators and all of these node maintainers and network of providers all over the globe. They're distributed across the globe, and it is very tough to get a 51% hold of the network at any point of time, just because of the sheer computational network that any hacker would require for a 51% hack. So the second thing is a pseudo anonymous nature that blockchain offers. If you watched my previous video, you will understand this, because in Web3 wallets you only have your wallet address that is visible. Everything except that is just balance and any data that is stored on the wallet. That is all they can see, but they do not know who you are. They do not know anything about you. They do not know where you live. They do not know what you look like. They don't know anything. So since there's no KYC as such, it is pseudo anonymous. They can only see your wallet address, and they can see what you hold in your wallet. So that way it is pseudo anonymous. Immutability is basically that the data on the blockchain cannot be erased, especially the secure ones. It is very difficult to hack them, and so you cannot change any data that is already there on the blockchain. All history of the blockchain it's just there. You cannot get rid of anything. You cannot rewrite any data. You can only add new data, so that the new records reflect the changes compared to the previous records. So say you've stored something on the blockchain 2 years ago, and now you want to update whatever data is there. What you do now is you add or delete data, and you just upload it back on the blockchain. So now they know that, all right, that data is not valid anymore, and this is the new state of the data that you have uploaded. So that is how it works. So you cannot change what is there, but you can always keep adding new data. So these three things are the main factors which help us really use blockchain tech pretty well, especially decentralized blockchain networks like Ethereum, like Avalanche, all of these. So let us get into the application part. Now there are two kinds of blockchains. There are public blockchains, there are private blockchains. Now there is something in between as well, something which is sort of private and sort of public, but let's not get into that. Let's look at the simple ones. You can have a private blockchain, you can have a public blockchain. In case of a public blockchain, anybody in the world, as long as they can access the internet, and as long as they know how to use a Web3 wallet, and they know how to connect to the public blockchain, can see your wallet, and they can see what you hold in your wallet or what you use your wallet for. They can look at your history, they can look at what you hold, all of that, right? But they don't know who you are. That is the main thing. So it is just numbers on a screen, and they do not know who is controlling those numbers. And this goes for thousands and millions of wallets all across the globe. So that is public blockchains. And private blockchains is sort of where nobody can see what you're doing with your wallet. Nobody can see what is stored on the blockchain. Nobody can read data from a blockchain. Only the people who have created the blockchain and people who have access to that blockchain and the node operators of that blockchain can read it. So that is the basic difference. Now coming to applications of public and private blockchains, public blockchains offer trustless operations. So for example, if you want to settle an insurance claim, and if you feed the right sort of data for your insurance claims, then your insurance claims can be settled quickly, against these traditional insurance companies, where you need a lot of documentation and a lot of waiting period to just get all of your insurance claims. So that way this is very helpful. You can have insurance services on a public blockchain. You can have health services. You can have, I mean, when I say health services, I mean health data storing services. And you can have marketplaces. And how do these work? Health services meaning, see, you can store health and medical records of your customers or your patients on a public blockchain. That's basically what I mean. Now, yes, I don't think any company would be doing this, because you do not want to be putting out your health records on a public blockchain for anybody to see, right? Even though they do not know who you are, I don't think, at least I would not be putting out my health records on a public blockchain for anybody to see. Even though they do not know who I am, I'm not comfortable doing that. Um, so, but there are other services which offer encryption of the same data while being stored on a public blockchain. I mean, you can have a look at Arcana network, and you can have a look at Filecoin. I mean, you can have a look at decentralized storage if you wish to. You can just Google that. If possible, I'll include a few links below as well. But yeah, you can store data, and you can have marketplace. Unlike Amazon, which is a centralized marketplace controlled by Amazon Incorporation, you can have a decentralized marketplace which is being controlled by thousands of people all across the globe. And who are these thousands of people? They are the node providers. They are the users who own the platform and use the platform. I think that is the main difference, right, between Web 2 and Web 3. Here, users who use the platform also control the platform. They have the power to do that. So that is there. You can have a decentralized marketplace. And the most important and most well-known application of public blockchains is banks right now. So you may have heard the word DeFi somewhere in the past 1 or 2 years or 3 years. So decentralized finance is a huge application, because it's so trustless, right? It is only a wallet out there. Nobody knows who you are, and you can make all sorts of transactions, and it is stored, and it is safe, and it is so secure. So you can have banks where you can lend your money out to other people, and all of this management is done by code. This code is called smart contracts. So we'll get into that concept a few videos later, but that is one of the main applications. Now let's come to private blockchains. Now private blockchains, here, why would a company require private blockchain? A company using a private blockchain could be doing that to outsource computational power. They do not want a a private server for themselves, because they do not want Amazon or Microsoft or anybody sneaking up on them and saying, you know what, we know what you're doing, we have all your data, we store it on our servers. So they might be interested in deploying their data and storing their data on a private blockchain. And also, since it offers immutability, that data is always there, that data is always stored there. So maybe something like a law firm could be using this, because they have a lot of records, but they do not want their records to be accessible by the public, but they want it to be immutable, and they want to store all of it digitally, and they do not want a private server to be accessing all of that. So the best option is to have a private blockchain where you can encrypt that data and you can store it, and it is not on a private server. So and also it cannot be changed. So law firms could be using that, and also health companies also could be using that to store health records of their patients or their customers. So yes, these are basically the applications. There are many other applications. You can just Google them. There's a supply chain and all of that. So yeah, I hope you learned something today. Not a very exciting video, but yes, thank you for watching.